Hi everyone, this is Dr. Nitin Chhoda and welcome to my channel. Once again, thank you so much for being a viewer. Thank you so much for being a subscriber. YouTube is being kind enough to push our channel, to push our videos to a lot of new subscribers. So in case you don't know who I am, please check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. This is the Ignition Time channel. Welcome to the Ignition Time channel. In this video, I'll give you an update to the stimulus negotiations, and also I'll share a reaction from MSNBC and actually from Chuck Schumer as it pertains to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's rather contentious and intense interview with CNN's Wolf Blitzer last night. I did do a detailed analysis of that interview in another video on our channel, so you can definitely check that out on our channel. And I think that gave us some key insights into the Democrats' position and the fact that they are staying firm, they are not budging. Speaking of positions, it's very clear right now that the White House has sort of bounced from one position to another. As you know, over the past 7, 8, 9 days, a lot of different things have happened. The president called off stimulus. The president then wanted something piecemeal. Then the president now suggests go big. And at the same time, the Senate, when they reconvene next Monday, October 19th, is going to be voting on a rather limited relief package for the Paycheck Protection Program. So it doesn't seem like the three sides are essentially in sync with each other at all. In fact, on your screen, you'll see a tweet from Jake Sherman at Politico, and Jake writes that U.S. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin and House Speaker Pelosi are scheduled to talk by phone today about stimulus, according to several sources. Everything is still at a standstill. I want to be clear, everything is still at a standstill because President Trump has been pushing for a big deal, and Speaker Pelosi has been asking for a different kind of deal with specific provisions, including the child tax credit, with specific provisions including the child care tax credit. And the Senate is intent on voting on a standalone bill, an interim bill, if you want to call it that, for the Paycheck Protection Program. So the two sides, when I say the two sides, I mean the White House and the Speaker, the Democrats, are not in sync. And on top of that, the Senate seems to be doing something different. It's not clear whether this is a plan A and a plan B strategy as far as the administration is concerned. Maybe plan A is to go for big stimulus and then blame it on the Democrats if it doesn't happen, and plan B is to vote on something interim, or the two sides, meaning the administration and the Senate in this case, are simply not talking to each other. They're simply detached, which would be horrible because that is the last thing we want in this situation because the aid is so critical. The question arises, why are the two sides even still talking? Now this time, when I say the two sides, I mean the White House, the administration, and House Speaker Pelosi, because there are three sides in this. There aren't two sides. There's the White House, the administration, there's the Senate in the middle, and then there's the House on the other side. There's just so much going on here. So this was a comment from Jake Sherman at Politico. You'll see this on your screen right now. They are legitimately trying to narrow differences. In other words, House Speaker Pelosi and U.S. Treasury Secretary are getting closer and closer and closer. But it's mostly useless. These are the words of Jake Sherman from Politico, because the Senate wants nothing to do with the deal. I just want to be clear, based on all the indications we have, the Senate is not interested in a $1.8 trillion stimulus package. I've done detailed videos on the reactions from Republican senators to the $1.8 trillion package. I've done videos on what could potentially be a detachment, a lack of communication between the White House and the Senate. And also I've done another video on the Republican senators who oppose further stimulus. So that is one possibility where they are trying to narrow differences, but we don't know where that will go. Could we have a signed deal? Could we have an agreement? Could we have a consensus without a law, without a bill that is actually signed by the President of the United States? I mean, in other words, could we have a deal without a law? That is potentially what could happen in scenario one. So that is what's going on with the stimulus negotiations so far. Speaking of stimulus negotiations, MSNBC's Chris Hayes actually spoke with Chuck Schumer after this contentious interview between CNN's Wolf Blitzer and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. And he did ask Chuck Schumer to comment. And I thought that Chuck Schumer's comments were extremely interesting. This is what Schumer said. And I thought Schumer's comments were very interesting. Now, Chris Hayes said the House wants a bill. And he said, and I quote, "It strikes a lot of people as a little nuts to say no to a tentative deal of $1.8 trillion. This is an MSNBC host saying that it's a little nuts for Democrats to say no to a $1.8 trillion proposal. And this is what Chuck Schumer said. And I don't think that Speaker Pelosi articulated this exactly like Chuck Schumer articulated it. I did analyze her interview in my previous video as well, but this is what Chuck Schumer said. He said, it's not the $1.8 trillion that meets people's needs. It contains all sorts of giveaways. It allows the president to give away money. So that's interesting. Leaves out a huge number of things to help people. And Chuck Schumer said that Democrats' package was designed to meet America's needs, and the language in the $1.8 trillion package is much worse than the language in the $2.2 trillion package, according to Chuck Schumer. And he said, I quote, they are playing a game. They are saying a higher number without actually changing the language. He said that the administration is playing a game. He said Speaker Pelosi wants Mnuchin to give her language on specific testing issues that are so vital in preventing infections, a third wave of the pandemic. And he said President Trump jumps around from one day to another. One day he says go big, the other day he says go piecemeal, then he says go big again, and then he says the Senate is trying to do something targeted. How do you negotiate in a situation like this? These were the comments from Chuck Schumer. Very interesting comments indeed. Let's roll the tape and see exactly what Chuck Schumer said to MSNBC's Chris Hayes.
Here's how I understand it. The president is all over the place and doesn't have the attention span to concentrate on this for more than 5 minutes. Mitch McConnell's caucus hates the idea of passing a big rescue bill. And the House wants one, but the thing I can't quite understand is it seemed like there was a tentative deal at, say, $1.8 trillion between the White House and Mnuchin and the Speaker. And the Speaker was on CNN today basically saying, like, no, it's not good enough. And that strikes a lot of people as a little nuts. Like, if that were the deal, wouldn't you all take it?
Well, the Speaker is right. First of all, the 1.8 is not really the 1.8 that meets America's needs. As she said, it contains all sorts of giveaways, so the president can just give away money and leaves out huge numbers of things that are needed to help people. The package that the House passed, first the 3.4 trillion, and then when they came down and did the 2.2 trillion, was designed at a bare minimum to meet America's needs. The 1.8 doesn't, not just because it's 1.8, but because the language in it is far worse than what is in the 2.2 and just doesn't meet America's needs. Nancy is right to reject it. And they are just playing a game. They're trying to say a higher number than they originally were without actually changing any of the language. She has asked Mnuchin to give her language on these issues, on the testing issue, so vital in preventing the third corona wave, which you talked about. They don't get any. And then at the same time, you have this going on. It depends what day it is to know where Trump is at and where the Republicans are at. Trump today now says go big, and the Republican Senate says go very little or not at all. How do you negotiate?
So how do you negotiate in a situation like this? These are the words of Chuck Schumer. Let me know if you agree with this assessment in the comment section below. Also, you'll find a link to all the information, all the resources, all the videos we reference in the description section below. We do that for every video. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. I want to know whether you need some clarity about this. Should we, as citizens, see the specific language in the bill? Because keep in mind, you and I don't have visibility into the specific language in the bill. So we only have the only information we have to go by is the information that we're getting through these public statements from House Speaker Pelosi, from US Secretary Mnuchin, from Chuck Schumer. So again, let me know in the comment section below whether you agree or whether you disagree with this assessment. Speaking of assessments and speaking of where stimulus negotiations are headed, a week ago, I analyzed a possible scenario that was first reported by Jeff Stein at the Washington Post. And on your screen, you'll see a recent tweet from Jeff Stein at the Washington Post who said that this is looking likely by the day, by the hour. This scenario is as follows. Number one, we see no stimulus deal before the election. Number two, former Vice President Joe Biden wins the presidency and President Trump loses interest in doing a deal with Congress. This is, it's hard for me to report information like this, but this is the news that's emerging. That would mean that there's no additional stimulus until January, until the end of January at the earliest, when the new president is inaugurated. Think about that for a second. How can we continue when millions and millions of individuals need help? And number three, a new wave of cases, potentially a third wave of cases happens at the end of the year, and this becomes a bad winter and this causes more economic damage, just as Washington DC is most paralyzed. I really hope that doesn't happen, and I did talk about this scenario on my channel in another video on my channel, so you definitely want to make sure you check out that video for a more detailed analysis. And here's another tweet on your screen from Jeff Stein. At this moment, Andrew Yang and Ro Khanna are the only two Democrats who've publicly opposed Speaker Pelosi and called for Speaker Pelosi to accept the $1.8 trillion offer. Everybody else, from Chuck Schumer to to all the progressives in the party, nobody has spoken out publicly against Speaker Pelosi and asked her and pressured her to accept the $1.8 trillion proposal. I guess we can add Wolf Blitzer to the list of individuals who essentially has been urging Speaker Pelosi to take the proposal. What this means, and the bottom line is this: the Democrats are standing firm. The White House essentially saying different things, and the Senate has made it clear that their priority is the nomination of the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court nomination, and their priority is a targeted relief package on the Paycheck Protection Program, which will take place next week. We have not heard Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell say, hey, we're going to vote on a large stimulus package. He's the one who brings the vote to the floor of the Senate. In fact, he has said that things are looking very murky, and he thinks a large stimulus deal is unlikely in the next 3 weeks. These are the words of the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. That is where things stand right now. If you learn something new from this video, please consider gently tapping the like button. In fact, if you want to ignite the like button, also ignite the subscribe button and enable notifications so you get instant updates from our channel going forward. That would mean a lot to me personally. Also, please consider commenting below. Go ahead and comment and let us know your thoughts, and also share this video please with friends and family. That is your vote of confidence in me and the entire team behind the scenes at Ignition Time. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I really appreciate you. If you learned something new from this video, please consider clicking the like button. I would really appreciate that. If you don't know anything about me, please check out my video. You'll learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. Please consider subscribing and enabling notifications. That's your vote of confidence in me and the efforts of my team and all the work that goes into this channel. That would mean a lot to us. Also, please share this video with friends and family members so we can spread the word and grow our community with honest, transparent news. We release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. That's 2 p.m. Now keep in mind, you can get on our SMS list. Just get your cell phone out, send a text message with the word ignition or with the word time to 70,000. That's 70000, and you'll get added to our SMS alerts list. Now you can also get added to our email list. Simply go to ignitiontime.com/alerts. That's ignitiontime.com/alerts, and you'll get on our email list. You can opt out of the SMS list or the email list at any point in time that you want. Now keep in mind that sometimes YouTube does not send out notifications on time. Sometimes there's a delay. So all you have to do is simply bookmark youtube.com/ignition time. That's youtube.com/ignition time. Just bookmark that page on your browser and you'll be able to view our videos at any point in time that you want. So this way you're not dependent on notifications. You can follow us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is ignition_time. That's ignition_time. And you can also follow us on Twitter. Our Twitter handle is also ignition_time. That's ignition_time. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing. Please enable notifications so you get instant updates from us going forward. Please gently tap that like button, gently ignite that like button, because remember, the name of our channel is Ignition Time. Once again, we release videos at 2 p.m. East Coast time most days of the week. And please share this video with friends and family members. Don't forget to also comment below, because the comments from our growing community are incredibly valuable, and often the community, the collective insight of the community is greater than what I can share with you, because real-time breaking news alerts are shared by our community members, and our community is growing rapidly and is very respectful, and we're learning a lot from each other. So once again, please click like, please subscribe. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.